where when they conquered Israel, they kept them in their land. What the Assyrians did, not only did they capture Israel, what happened to Israel, they kept some in their land, and did not they take them and to scatter them into other nations as well? Mm-hmm. Yes. That's strategic. When we look at Jezreel, it's one thing to scatter, but to sow something, you have a specific direction or aim in which you're trying to position something. So when the Assyrians come in, they take the house of Israel, they take them captives, and they not only scatter them, they sow them into not only Assyria, but the surrounding nations as well. So, when we look at the Assyrian captivity, we should know that when you hear Mashiyach speak something, y'all ever notice how most of the Mashiyach ministry take place around the coast of the Sea of Galilee? You ever ask yourself why? So, when we study and look into the Assyrian captivity, it was at where that the Assyrians attacked Israel. It was at Galilee. That's where the breach, when you hear, and you've read many times where it says Mashiyach came to do what? Prepare the breach, which was what? Broken. Right. What is this breach? Where did this breach take place? Where was it broken? It was at Galilee. So when the Mashiyach comes on the scene, his ministry takes place right where the breach took place. Let's say if you had a pipe in your house to burst, and it burst right towards the end of that corner. Would you start repairing it down here at this end? Or would you go to where the problem is? Or where the source or where the problem stems? You would go repair right there. And so this is what Mashiyach did. He strategically went to a certain place. His ministry was strategically to take place in a certain place. And that's at Galilee. And when he told his disciples, what did he tell them? When the co-team saw that Mashiyach had risen, and when he was speaking to people, did he tell them? He said, go and tell what? Peter, my disciples to meet me where? Did he say meet me in Galilee? Unless I read wrong. Meet me in Galilee. He said, I have need to what? Go to Galilee. This whole book is about repairing a breach so something can take place. That's why when you read in Galatians, we understood earlier that Galatians comes from the root galut, or when we get galucha. And when you go look up galut, what does it say? Dispersed, or Jews that were scattered out of their land, or dispersed, or exiled out of their land. Galuth. Somebody look it up, see what they get.
Exile of the Jews from ancient Palestine or diaspora.
Say that again, read it loud.
Exile of the Jews from ancient Palestine, the diaspora.
Exile of the Jews of the Yahudim from ancient Palestine to what?
And then it says diaspora.
The diaspora or diaspora or the dispersing of Israel. So when you read in Galatians, Galatians is not an outside or a nation outside of Israel. Those those people are Israelites. They are the Galuja. They are the exile or the dispersed. That's why I say I don't care what book we read in here. We can make this book be Israel. Only thing I do is look at the words. It tells you exactly who these writings are to. Now they might use these names and stuff like that to hide and conceal and make you want to believe that these are outside nations. No, these are Israelites. So, let's go to 2 Kings 17 and 16. We'll ask Shalak will sit down and read that. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 16.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 16. And they left all the commandments of Yahuah, their Elohim, and he made them multi-images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshiped all the hosts of heaven, or Shamayim, and served Baal, or Baal.
Go ahead.
And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahuah, to provoke him to anger. Therefore, Yahuah was very angry with Yashra'al, and removed them out of his sight, and there was none left but the tribe of Yahudah or Judah only. Also, Yahudah or Judah kept not the commandments of Yahuah their Elohim, but walked in the statutes of Yashra'al which they made. And Yahuah rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight.
Okay, so we see what going on right there?
He spoiled all of Israel.
He spoiled all of Israel. How does he spoil Yashra'al, or the house of Israel? He sends them into captivity. He sends them into captivity. That's the punishment for breaking the commandments. Jeremiah 3 and 6, about Yahuah. Jeremiah 3 and 6, all the way to verse 10. 3 through 10.
Yahuah said unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel hath done? She has gone up upon every high mountain, under every green tree, and there hath played the harlot. And I said after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me, but she returned not. And her treacherous sister Judah saw it. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away, and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom, that she defiled the land, and committed adultery with the stones and with the stocks. And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but feebly says, saith Yahuah.
Okay, and so what we see here is, now the house of Israel has what? Been given what? A bill of divorce. Why was she given a bill of divorce?
Because she committed adultery.
Because of adultery. How do we know that she committed adultery. When was their marriage?
During the time of Abraham.
Okay, during the time of Abraham, and being more specifically.
And they said, everything that you say we shall do.
Say it again, he said, at Sinai. That was a marriage that took place at Sinai. So, is this divorce talking about all of Israel or just the house of Israel?
The house.
The house.
The house of Israel. But then we read where he said, Judah saw how treacherous, or saw all of Israel backslide. What did Judah do when Judah saw? Did Judah tighten up and say, we better get in line?
No.
That's the same thing happened to us. Judah didn't fear. But you notice that you haven't read anywhere where Judah was given a bill of divorce? Why is that?
Because he said he was going to have mercy on him anyway in Hosea.
Right? He said he would have mercy on him. And what else?